What's good?
Podcast.
I don't know what happened.
Eric Lee and Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas.
Hey, stole my piece of chicken.
It's been a minute. What happened to the intro?
The intro right there. Welcome to Shoot the Breeze.
I didn't hear it. Oh, here's a round of applause. Here we go.
Man, are you on the delay?
I don't know.
Shooting the Breeze conversations with the DJ. I'm your host, Eric Lee, and you are?
Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas. Am I on a delay?
Now, you sound good. You're good.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. I was looking to see, man. I got us on IG right now. So I was talking to the people on IG while you waiting for the show to come on. So we're live on IG. Yeah.
You can't talk to nobody while we running. Can't talk to until we open it.
No. I was making sure they could hear me on IG because we went on there first. That's what I was doing. Okay.
Good answer.
All right. Let's get the show started.
Welcome to Shoot the Breeze conversation with the DJ. Yours truly, Ely, and the place to be, and you are
Lorenzo Ice-T to the Thomas, the LIT, the CIT, always on fire. I stay lit.
Hey, man, and it's been a while, man, because I had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you did a couple of movies, couple of TV series, and so on and so forth. So you were busy, man. That's why the intro was a little hectic because, we're working on some new systems and we just haven't done this in a minute.
And we're glad that you guys got an opportunity to come check us out. Of course, we try to do this each and every Thursday where we get a chance to highlight people in the music industry that were very instrumental to some of the biggest artists that you love. And what we like to do is give them their flowers while they're still here. And of course, that these folks were the reason why the folks that you like a lot are in the position that they are in today. Right, Lo?
Yeah, that is so true because in order for, say, a LL Cool J or a Public Enemy or a group like that, there has to be someone that is basically the conduit to make it blow up in other places. So these people are very important and they're behind the scenes. And a lot of times they're in those places, in those public places and popular places, but you don't know who they are, but they're big movers and shakers without a doubt.
Absolutely. And the young lady that we're about to bring on right now, she is legendary.
Yes.
And a legend in the business. She had the opportunity to mold the careers of artists like LL Cool J, Jay-Z, Disco, Method Man,
yes,
DMX. You know it. I'm telling you, she's doing it on a high level all the time. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Johnnie Walker.
Woo! Johnnie.
First and foremost, we've got
we were going to chop it up, so I had to get prepared now.
Okay, we just want to make sure. Look, first and foremost, we got to say shout out to Corrine Coco Estrella Reyes. She says hello from San Diego.
Okay.
San Diego in the building. What's up, San Diego?
That's important. Definitely, that's important. But we wanted to get you on, Johnnie, because you are a wealth of information about the music industry, the entertainment industry. We want to talk about, of course, some of your philanthropy, the things that you're doing. But first, we want to know how it all started. Where'd it come from? Where'd you start? How'd you start in the business?
I think for me, it was, I like to use my word persistence because for me, it started at a country radio station.
What?
You too?
Dude,
You
I
too?
was country when country wasn't cool. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's cool now, but I was country
That's
when it was cool.
right, right.
Listen, man, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, oh my gosh, all of the what was that song they had out when I was doing country music? Just a Swingin'. That was the name, John Anderson, I think.
Wow. Glenn Campbell, Dolly Parton, the Judds, Alabama, the Oak Ridge Boys.
That's right. Lorenzo did that.
Hey,
Yeah, I did country music. That my first job on radio, Johnny, was doing country music.
you gotta start somewhere.
Charlie Pride. Come on now.
That wasn't me. That wasn't my plight. My plight was jazz. But what's interesting is the fact that I knew Lorenzo started in country. And when you told me you started in country, Johnny, you know Tony Kidd?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Tony
Yes.
started in country. I'm like, how do all these black folks start in country music?
Hey, we needed a gig, right, Johnny?
That's what I was about to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. For me, it was like, you got this great desire, and you just really, you've kind of got it in your head what you want to do. And I'm like I said, I'm in Grenada, Mississippi now. And so there's just like not any opportunities to do what I wanted to do the way that I wanted to do it. And we had the little country radio station, and I would just go there and just continue to ask them. And they just, the day that the GM hired me, I just think he like, go in my office and have a seat. I go in his office and have a seat. He says, let's go down into the bookkeeping office. We go down so we can get my information. And he says, this is Johnny. She's going to come to work for us. I don't know what the hell she's going to do, but she's going to come to work for us.
They didn't know what you were going to do.
Please. I think he was just, the fact that I just never gave up. I just consistently was trying to get inside that radio station. And when he hired, I was a receptionist. I was a receptionist because they wouldn't let me go on the air. Come on, man.
But you made your way to the air.
I made my way to the air. There was a guy that was supposed to do middays and he didn't show up or something. And my GM had came and told me, here's a bunch of standbys that we have. Call these guys and get somebody in here. And I called, and that was our running joke because he always says I didn't call them, but I did. I called everybody, but I couldn't find anybody. And so he put me in the studio and said, do not turn that mic on. Just play the songs. And that's what I was doing. Hey, there I am.
Is that her?
That's that radio station.
Oh, look at the knobs. Look at the knobs.
Oh my God. Look at the knobs.
You turn them just like this.
If you know what a pot is,
We know what a pot is.
We know.
yeah, that's real radio right there, boy.
Ooh.
And see, the cool thing about it is a lot of our friends, of course, are in the industry, and I'm getting people's like, yo, wow. Avis Jackson is like, wow.
The knobs, man. The knobs are crazy.
That was it, man. That was it.
Shout out to Danielle Renee, Miss Walker. And she said, hello from Texas.
Texas is in the house.
Texas is in the house. And that's right, Avis. That's old school, baby. That's when you know you're in radio. When you got pots, you can turn that way. Absolutely, absolutely. So you got into country radio, and that's where you started.
That's it. That is where I started. Like I said, the fun thing for me was my GM came in and said, listen, you got to tell people what time it is. I said, you told me not to say anything. You told me not to turn the mic on. He says, well, you need to tell people what time it is. At least read the weather or do something. So I read the weather, and he came back and said, oh, okay. Well, you don't sound that bad. Read this PSA. So you know how back then you have to go to the AP wire, you tear off something from the weather or somebody, you got your public service announcement and all of that. So he puts all this stuff in front of me, and I read it, and he was like, okay. And so he put me on. After that, it's really funny. After that, he told me to come in at 10 o'clock next morning and sit in the studio and just learn everything that I could. Just sit in there and learn. And that's what I did. But what was the pivot for me, I would always go to his office. This guy, we had that kind of relationship. I would go to his office and I was saying, you really should let me play R&B. He was like, R&B? This is a country station. And this is something I share with people all the time I'm talking to. He said, this is not a jukebox. You can't play what you like. You got to play what we can sell. And so he was like, and this is a country radio station. And so I was just very adamant about if I had it just 1 hour, if I had 1 hour, I know I could sell it. So I would keep going to him. And so one day he said to me, look, if you can find 3 people that will advertise, we'll consider the show that you're talking about. We'll put it on late night. It's not going to hurt anything. And so he told me to go get 3. I came back with 5. They were simple. I had the drugstore, the bargain shoe center, the discount. So I'm not downplaying anything. I'm just saying I knew I could get a quick sale. Yeah. So I went and I came back. I had 5 signed contracts. Put me on at 10 o'clock. And his famous words that I'll never forget, put me on at 10 o'clock and said, if they come and burn the station down, we will have gotten a full day of programming and sales in.
So would you come in with your stack of records, your Stevie?
Yeah, he said, dude gave me $100 to go buy some records, which I already had the records I wanted to play.
Right.
But that 10 o'clock show that came on at 10 o'clock, Jim comes in and says, oh, what? We need to move this down to 8 o'clock because he was selling. And he was like, we need to move this down to 8 o'clock. So I'm on a country radio station, 8 o'clock to midnight playing R&B until Jim comes in and says, we need to move this down to 6 o'clock. So I actually was doing 6 hours on the country radio station at 6 o'clock in the evening. Everybody knew. Was there a urban station in the market? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why everybody was listening to you. You're the only one. Is she the only one playing black music? I get it. Now, you and I had some conversations. You told me you went from country and then you went to an R&B station, and the money just a little different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
You're gonna make me get caught. Listen, I came to Memphis. The radio station was Magic 101.
Right.
And at the time, I was making almost $300 a week at the country station. And I came to Memphis and I made $150.
Working for the black station.
Half.
Sounds all right.
Don't they say we have to work twice as hard to get half of what they have? Uh-huh. The irony, you know what, Johnny? For me, on the country station, it was a paid internship. That's how I got my foot in the door, and they paid me. Most internships don't pay at urban radio stations. So there's a difference, a huge difference. So I understand exactly where you're coming from. You got half of what you got from the country station. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, but yeah, I wanted it so badly. And I really wanted to be at a black station. I really wanted to just surround myself with black music. I figured it out. That's why
and you're surrounded by black pay.
I was surrounded by the blackness. All right.
Hey, we all had that. Hey, no. Lorenzo and I got stories. We remember being at radio. We get a check a Friday at noon. The first person to cash the check wins because the rest of them may bounce.
Yeah. And I was the boss.
And he was the boss. You better go cash it now.
I said, go cash it now. Get it as soon as possible, dog. Get that money.
Go cash it now.
I'm not gonna say the names of the owners of the company, but I knew that money. Hey, they're gonna pay a certain amount. Make sure you get it, or you have to wait until the next 2 weeks.
Or the next 2 weeks. I mean, I was in college, man. That was definitely a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Johnny, what made you decide to walk away from radio and go into records?
Y'all just said it.
Money.
The funny thing is, again, I was in radio. I was really doing what I loved. I had actually advanced to program director. I was at the station for like 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in there. I was an air personality. From that, just always reaching, and I became the music director, and I really felt like I was doing it. I felt like I became program director the last 2 years that I was at the station. I was a program director, and I had a chance meeting, and it totally was a chance meeting. Back in the day, no Facebook. You had to go to the conference.
Right.
Impact, BRE,
Right.
Rapper, the Urban Network. You had to go to the
Mhm.
conference for
Right.
people to know who you are and what you're doing. And so I was at Impact Conference, and at that time, Wes Johnson, y'all know Wes Party Johnson,
Oh
was
God.
my rep. He was my
Oh,
rep.
God. Johnny, what you don't know is that probably a third of the people that we bring on the show
Uh-huh.
got a Wes story.
They
Now,
got it.
my mom didn't know who Wes is.
Right.
Wes was. And she was like, y'all talking, when you gonna have him on? I said, Mom, he's no longer with us. He said, I want to meet him because all y'all got a story.
Yeah.
Everyone else-
Party.
Yeah.
And,
Wes Party Johnson.
Mhm.
and speaking of, we got to give him love.
Yeah.
Wes, and for my folks that are checking us out, that watch the show regularly with us, Wes, of course, is on the far right,
Yeah.
the tall gentleman, and
Yeah.
yeah. We got West Party Johnson stories all day. Now this Def Jam from back in the day. That's Kevin, isn't that Kevin?
That's Kevin Lyles. That's a great picture, John.
That's Big Kevin.
Tom Lytle,
Yeah.
Rodney Terry. Hey, that's the crew right there, man.
That's
Yes,
the crew.
it is.
That's the crew right there.
And of course, Lytell's been on the show.
Yeah.
Now the young lady right beside Kevin on the left, wasn't she the receptionist at one time?
At one time, she was Wes Johnson's assistant.
And then she moved all the way up the ladder. I just
Yeah.
can't. What was her name?
Julie Greenwald. She's
Julie
like
Greenwald. That's right.
president or something at Atlantic now.
Yeah, she's big time, super big. But I remember when I was calling Wes, when Wes was calling on me, it was a receptionist, and I remember they was like, she's the president of the company. What? Okay. And of course, Kevin Lyles.
Yeah.
That's Big Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
He a little teeny old guy now.
He little bitty Kevin now. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, and for the folks that are checking out the show, Kevin is the president of 300 Entertainment. Young Gunner was Gunner, Young Thug, Meg the Stallion. That's all of his artists now. Yeah. All of his artists now. Yeah, that old Def Jam crew. Y'all were fun back then, boy.
That's the crew right there.
Yeah. Oh, Wes Johnson.
So that's where it all started, Johnny?
Yeah, Wes, here's the thing. For my radio station, like I told you, I was the program director, and I was not playing rap. I didn't play rap. I mean, come on, we had another station in the market here in Memphis, Bobby OJ. I know you guys have heard of him.
Of course.
He was the kingpin here. It was like, hey. So if he was playing all the hip hop, I couldn't differentiate my station or try to win doing the same thing that Bobby was doing.
Right.
So I didn't play rap. And so, we did have a little show on the weekends, like an hour or something, but I really didn't play rap. And so at the Impact Conference, he comes West. That's her right there. That's Johnnie Walker. She not playing our LL Cool J. What? Now you need to come over here and talk to Russell. What am I talk to Russell about? I'm not playing the song. So we go over there, man, and they just talk. We just going at it.
So let's say, for example, it would be the song "I Can't Live Without My Radio."
I actually don't know which one it was.
Okay. But definitely one of the early ones.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the early ones. I would say like 88, 89. Definitely. It's that we were going back and forth. And I think the back and forth was interesting because I didn't relent. I did not relent. And that Monday, he called me and offered me a job. He said,
I got to get rid of you.
Yeah, he's like,
that's hire her.
Yeah, but you know what he said? He said, I want you to stand up for my company the same way you stood up for that radio station.
Wow.
I want you to stand up for my artists the same way. He said, everything we threw at you, you was like, he said, you never gave in. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know anything about the record industry. We'll teach you. And I said, but I do radio. I'm radio. I really can't do that. And so then when Wes said, well, here's your starting salary and your expense account.
An expense
I
account?
said,
Here's your Amex. Here's your Amex.
I'm doing what? What's the expense account? What is that? And so Wes explained it to me.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, so what
You put in your 2 weeks.
Time to be that way.
Hey, I just went straight. I went to my GM and I said, well, it's an opportunity that I definitely want to pursue. A lot of people told me that, I was running my career. I was really doing well in radio and just a lot of things. I had a lot of people that said, oh my God, this is the worst. I mean, it's rap. It's not going anywhere. It's a fad.
Right. Rap will never go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dead after about 4 or 5 years.
So why
you can do that?
A career like that? And I don't know, man. It's just something that said, "Hey, take a shot, take a chance." And
Man,
I did.
And as we talk about that, just hold on for a second. Just in case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, we got Johnnie Walker in the house.
That's right, Johnnie Walker. Hey, let's give a round of applause right here.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
And you're tuned into
the sound effects.
Oh yeah, we good. We ready for it.
We got him.
We ready for it. And you tuned into the breeze.
I think I know where you're going, E. I think you know where you're going.
Where we going?
Where you going? I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Well, we're about to rock because we got to let everybody know. Make sure if you are checking us out on Facebook as well as YouTube and also Instagram, feel free to drop us a comment. We got Johnnie Walker here, and she's done some amazing things in the music industry. And ask a couple of questions if you like. It's all good. It's all good. Now, Johnnie.
Yeah. Here we go.
No. We ain't chopping. We chopping. We chopping. With the music industry itself. I mean, you just talked about not playing hip hop,
right?
Because of you didn't want to. Of course, there were competitors in the market, but at the same time, you started to work for a rap label. You were there. Let's say hip hop was probably about 10 years old when you got to Def Jam.
That's a good assessment. Yeah,
it's about 10 years old.
People say 78.
I would say from the streets to the parties because like it started in the streets. Wasn't necessarily a record, so to speak, and where they were doing a lot of the things, say in the Bronx or in those different boroughs in New York. So it was kind of like a street thing,
right?
More so than when by the time I came in, when it's like okay, and even us, and again, this is my opinion from the vantage point where I was. It kind of like we were, the stepchildren.
And the reason why I wanted to go back there is because last year we celebrated 50 years of that music that you said that they said you're gonna ruin your career over.
Ruin your career, yes.
So to be there, almost at the infancy of what hip hop began as, to see where it is now, because we actually watched the birth of a genre of a music from the beginning.
Yes,
we've been riding it all the way through. There are people that are born right now that when they were born, hip hop
was already there.
Will Smith had already boycotted the Grammys.
Right?
All of that's gone. All they know is hip hop. But there was a time, just like you said, you couldn't play hip hop on the radio. Or very few radio stations would. So when you became when you got on the other side, how did you start convincing radio stations to play your music?
Well, I think I had a little unique secret weapon. I knew radio. I didn't know a lot about the record industry, but I knew radio. Okay. I knew the strategies that went into place when they decided what songs to play. I knew that at that time, TSLs was like, oh my God, what's your TSLs and things like that. I knew back then it was Birch. Everything.
Oh, that's right.
She said
Birch. Birch, I know. That took me back.
everything that they did to win, I knew.
Right.
So my strategy, every time I called the radio station, I called and I would always say, I'm calling to help you win. At least I got their ear.
Mm.
I'm gonna help you get your time spent listening up.
Yeah. And so I just kind of utilized what I knew. Like I said, I knew radio. So when I called people, I saw that I didn't appear that I didn't know what I was talking about. I always wrote it down.
Uh-huh.
So it's right in front of me. So when I was talking to the program director, it was like I had facts and figures and boom, 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 but it was right in front of me. So I never, it was no, I never did that because I had it right in front of me. I did it like I was in the control booth. And so it just worked for me. A lot of other situations where, I mean, it's the boys club that they would say. It's the boys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Male dominated.
Yep.
what do you
Yep.
think you gonna do? Listen, I said every man I know, the ones I know now, got a woman. And they got a woman, they got a wife, they got a woman, and they got a third one. What's that King George saying? Need
I need 3 of them. 3 of them.
Everyone I knew had a woman.
Right.
So why am I trying to do the same thing that West Party doing? Because West Party come into town, it's like, whoa, West load up everybody and take them to Brazil. I can't do that. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Or at least bring the limo.
Well,
Eric, come on, let's go. All right.
so you know what I did? I did just what I said.
Right.
Every man that I knew, every program director that I knew had a woman. Most of them, if they didn't have one, they were looking for one.
Or
So
two.
I befriended the women.
Mm.
That's
I
where
hang
you got
out.
your music on.
I hung out with their wives. I hung out with their girlfriends. I took their girlfriends to the spa. I did things for their women that they weren't doing.
Okay.
So
Let me set up a scenario for you, Johnny. Let's set up a scenario. We're gonna make
set
this
it
up.
up.
It's fabricated because
okay.
so Eric and I are in Richmond at the time.
Mhm.
So you had to pick up the phone and call Gary Young, right?
Mhm.
You had to pick up the phone, Gary Young. So you had to befriend Sunshine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? Like Eric and I definitely was pushing to get rap on the radio.
Oh, we were fighting to get that thing on.
Already had a rap show on Saturday nights, right? But back then we were only playing hip hop like once an hour during the week. So let's walk through a conversation between you and Gary Young. You getting ready to come down to Richmond. We got a little event going on at Ivory's Uptown Lounge. Johnnie Walker, I'll act like I'm Gary. You calling me.
Okay.
Action.
Well, it's 2 scenarios. You gotta understand it's 2 scenarios.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do my professional scenario. Hey Gary, what's up, man? I'm coming into town. Listen, can we, we got some time? Can we hang out? Can we do something? Probably can't. He probably don't want to go anywhere with me. I know he don't, but I'm gonna put an offer on the table. And listen, I'm coming in, I'm gonna talk about my records because that's my job. Mm-hmm. Whether he likes them or not, I'm gonna do my job. But like I said, 2 scenarios. If it's warm, we're gonna talk about the records, and he's gonna ask me where they at and what we doing and what I got with it. Is there any promotion or anything with it? If it's warm. If it's not warm, he's just gonna take the call. We gonna talk. And he going about his business. Okay, this is not time to call Sunshine, cause I know.
You call Sunshine.
And listen, any lady will tell you.
Oh my goodness.
I never talked about records or anything like that with him. It was girls' night out.
Right. It sure was.
I never said anything about it. And so sometimes they would say, well, what? I said, well, he don't answer my call. He doesn't really talk to me. She says, well, what do you mean he don't talk to you?
Oh my goodness. I
call him, but I'm not, how it is, girl. They don't really treat us the same way. What you got? Well, I got this. This is how we do it. This guy, so he's trying to do an R&B song on a hip hop beat, but I don't know. The radio not really feeling it right now. Really? Oh, okay. All right. I call me later. Oh, okay. I'll call you later.
Speaking of,
What's that song? Then I get another phone call. What you working this week? Oh, here's how we do it. You got it. You got it. Oh yeah. Hey, my girl told me about that song. She liked that song.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that's a great song, man. It's a really great song. But listen, man, if your woman likes it, what can I
Right.
say? What can I say, man? It's a woman's song. If your demographic is females 18 to 34, you want this song. And besides, you just told me your girl likes it. So what are we talking about, man? Listen, can we talk about a promotion? Let's talk about promotion. Let's do some stuff.
you squeezed the Montel pretty strong right there.
Oh, listen, man, that was it was a big record, but it was a hard record. I actually some radio station, a guy actually, I'm sitting there, he put it in the garbage can.
Really?
Wow.
He said, "Come back when you got a hit." He said, "If I want."
You said that about the Montel record?
Yes, he said, "If I want to play children's story, I'm."
That's right. That was the biggest problem with that some people had with the song. It's not like children's song. And then he's rapping like Slick Rick. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
No, if I want children, I'm playing children's story, not playing that. Dropped it in the garbage can while I was like, dude, you should have waited till I left.
He did that in front of you?
Right? I'm sitting there, dropped it in the garbage can. So, you know me, Def Jam tattooed on my chest. I got it out the garbage can. But, a lot of those people had to eat those words.
They did. They still eating them to this day.
Mm-hmm. They had to eat those words.
This day. And I remember that y'all worked Montel on a promotional tour up and down the East Coast on that song. Yep. Maybe all over the country. I just know that he was up and down. I mean, I was actually, when that song came out, I was in Norfolk. I was at 103 Jams with Steve Crumley and DJ Heart Attack. I was down there. So we did a performance. Lytel brought him through at Picasso's.
That song was like, I couldn't get it on at K97 where Bobby was. He just was not playing it. He just did not feel it. And so I went to the other radio station.
Keep it up.
And I said, listen, if you put this record in, I'm telling you, it's gonna blow up. No. You know what? You have an anniversary coming, because that was the other thing that I used to always do. I knew all of the dates and things that my stations had. I said, you got an anniversary coming up. Who you got?
Right.
We gonna get I didn't ask you who you trying to get. I asked you who you got. You ain't got nobody. I'm giving Montel Jordan. And see, the thing about it, that was a big gamble because I did not have the autonomy to do that.
Right.
But I felt like it's January. Their anniversary was like April or something. I got 4 months to make it happen. So I gave that radio station Montel Jordan. This is like January.
Right.
And she says, well, what I gotta do? I said, just play, play a couple times, you play it. I'm telling you, by March or April, this is gonna be the hottest record in the country. And so so now she has an artist for her event. It was an artist that nobody knew. So really nobody cared. So it didn't mean anything. And so she took it. It's like, okay, so we're shaking hands on this. I at least got one artist while she's trying to get these other artists. And I'm telling you, when the heat kicked in, when it kicked in,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that record was so
huge.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so certain things I keep. I kept the monitor. This is back from
1995.
31st, 1995.
Woo! I remember the year, man.
Oh my gosh.
Montel.
Montel. You E.
This is how we do it.
And that's Lytel. That's Lytel.
Over there, yeah.
That's Lytel. And the carts back there.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, man. Certain things I keep.
That's historic right there.
Yeah, I kept that one.
Yeah.
That along with the Music Director of the Year magazine. I kept all of that. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's so funny because like you said that when it first came out, everybody's like children's story. Okay, all right, that's easy enough to play.
They were like, nah, we're not feeling that.
They weren't feeling it.
They just weren't feeling it. But I'm saying the record kicked in. It's a huge record. It's like so many different scenarios. Obviously, I don't think radio, obviously is like that now, but it's just huge scenarios. It's just like, say, Cisco, when we were Incomplete was the record that we were working, but Black Radio was like thong, thong, thong. I don't think so many people would call me by the thongs. What the hell is the thong song?
Mm-hmm.
So for folks that checking this out that thought the record company actually released that, tell them the real story behind that, Johnny.
Well, I'm going to tell you the story that I'm aware of.
Right.
That we had set up for Incomplete.
Right.
But
which we did play. We did play Incomplete.
No, it was a good song. It was a good song. But
It's actually a great song. It really is. Yeah.
It had the same temperature as Thong Song.
Yeah.
But what happened, in my opinion, and based on the phone calls that I got, we promo tours. I mean, that was big for us.
Right.
And so he was out on a promo tour. And generally, just like we're sitting here talking now, and the program director or the DJ or whoever got the CD, and it's like you're playing, of course you're playing the song that we're working, which is Incomplete, and you're talking to the artist, and they say, well, what's your favorite? His favorite was Thong Song. And they said, which one is that? It's on the CD. Well, let's play it. I mean, you could do that then. And he would play that song. Every interview, they played Thong Song. Every interview. Not one or two.
Yeah.
Every interview. This is pop. This is R&B. This is wherever he was taking his little butt.
But you know what's funny, and for the folks that aren't in the industry that's kind of checking us out, and we will always laugh because remember the Dave Chappelle skit? Did you watch Dave Chappelle when he was doing the skits? There was a skit that he would talk about when Black people got too popular, that white people would steal them. So you can't get but too popular. Mm-hmm. Remember, all of the Black artists that got too popular, they had to go to the pop side.
Man.
So now for us trying to get them to go, they're in the pop department now. It's almost they were shuffled off into the black hole or the white hole.
That's another whole session. Okay, that's when you call me back for another session.
Okay, yeah. I just to think about some of the stuff that we were going through as programmers, as people on the record side, on how things changed based on the amount of money that was being facilitated or being pushed, or how many units that those artists was pushing. Because Cisco became from a Black artist to a pop artist real fast with Thong Song.
Well, I was at WKYS at that time in Washington, D.C. And that song was so popular, so huge that we had, just thinking about, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do what we did today. We couldn't do it.
Can't do it.
We had a campaign where we went out and purchased. Now, at that time, I had my Lorenzo collection out there for ladies. So I had like my Lorenzo paraphernalia for ladies. KYS produced their own KYS thongs.
We had them at CDX. We had power thongs.
You had the thongs too? We had the thongs with the kiss, with the lips on it.
We had the lips with the lightning bolt on it.
Yeah, you had the light. We had the lips in a certain place on the thongs. Yeah. I got video of me at parties giving out thongs to women, and they wanted them.
Oh,
they
the
thongs. They wanted the thongs.
Yep.
It was a phenomenon. Crazy.
So
it was marketing on another level.
Mm-hmm.
It was marketing that we didn't pay for. We may have paid for it in other ways, but I'm telling you, I think it was that artist fan relationship that you don't see now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just.
And Johnny, artist relationship and record label. Of course, Cisco being from Baltimore, so he had a lot of love in that Mid-Atlantic region right there, So I mean, being from Druid Hill Park, so on and so forth. Right. And they used to, when I was at V103 in Baltimore, they used to come by the station all the time and hang out before they got their deal. Kevin Peck used to bring them through all the time. So there was a relationship established. And they just loved him in that market, and it's surprising that Cisco hasn't become bigger, because now when they hit the stage, when they perform, I tell groups, you don't want to follow them.
Yeah, Drew Hill
brings that. Now, there's only maybe, Charlie Wilson, okay. or coming on after Drew Hill, that you forget those ballads and those hits that they had, and they bring. Cisco he puts on the show.
Yeah, he had power ballads too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, guys,
it's very different. It is very, very different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You think we could get back to that if you had the right programmers in the right positions, Johnny?
I think the industry itself has to do a metamorphosis. I think it almost has to just crash.
Mm.
I when I say crash, I mean, come on, let's stop the madness. Let's stop all of the nudity, the disrespect, the anger, all of the stuff. It's like, come on, we had great records. We it was fun.
Right.
We took care of business. I didn't need to curse you out.
Right.
I mean, that was people that, you up there, you may have been certain kind of ways. I'll say it like that. But let me say it like this. Maybe if we could do something about the balance, because the balance is so unequal now. Everything is money, drugs, sex, whatever is that. And then it's just not a good song that you can relate to.
Right.
It's just not a good song that just makes you want to get your significant other and just cuddle up. I mean, where are those songs? And where are the songs that just make you want to get up on the dance floor and just groove and just dance and just have a good time?
We talk about that. About that.
Johnny, you're saying something, because 2024 is the year of truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you said it has to crash. And you've heard people say that, the same owners of the record companies are the same owners of these private prisons. So when you have that common denominator, there's a method to their madness. If it crashes, then that's where it can clean up.
Yeah.
And you can it's about winning. It's about playing good music, and you have integrity in what you're putting on your airwaves,
And see, those people don't want to put integrity on the airwaves.
Right.
I'm about to get into it. But first we got to say hello to some folks.
Okay.
First and foremost, Wanda Hayes.
Hey, mama.
Wanda was she our second? Was she second or first? Because it was between her and Lytel. Between her and Lytel were first.
Okay.
But definitely one of our first guests. Love me some Wanda Hayes.
Yes.
Got to shout out one of my homies I went to high school with, Monica Diggs. Hey, Monica.
You and everybody else, I wanted to say. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to one of my coworkers, my man Mike DeLong. He's in the house. Digital expert, my guy. Thank you for checking us out. And if you're checking us out, make sure you hit the like button. Or no matter where you are, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hit the like button. And please share the video. We're here with Johnnie Walker. Johnnie is a big-time music executive. She's worked with the likes of LL, DMX, Jay-Z. We're going to talk about all that stuff. Method Man, you watch him every Sunday on Power now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did definitely catch him on that, as well as she headed Steven Spielberg's record label. We'll talk about that too. We got time for that. So we just want you to know exactly who we have with us tonight, because she gonna drop some jewels in this place. Now let's go back to the music, because when hip hop first started out, it was a party music, and then it got really conscious. And with the Brand Nubians and the X-Clans of the Public Enemies of the world, and then at a certain point, it got a little off kilter. But what I wanted to get back to, like you were talking about, the people that were putting the music out, or the heads, a lot of it didn't affect their family. I remember watching a piece with Charlemagne the God.
Mm-hmm.
He had Leora on.
Oh, I bet that was interesting.
I told you we were about to talk now. The clip, I should have pulled it up. He was talking about the misogyny in the music, and how bad it was. And Leora basically said, yeah, I know. He says, well, what do you think about it? He says, well, my family got to eat. They don't listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, was he going to be that bold to say that?
I don't care. He didn't care. That's why.
He didn't care.
He didn't care.
He did not care, because the music that that like you talk about right now, the drugs, the killing, the disrespect, the misogyny is a constant diet, and there's no balance.
Right, no balance.
And when I talk to people, I remember back in you talk to people that says, well, you know, music shouldn't be able to affect you that way, blah, blah, blah. You should be, you know, it's all theater. I said, no. Because when I was in college, we had slow tapes. We had Anita Baker on there, some Luther, and we played it to set the tone.
Yeah.
So when a young lady came into the dorm, hey, you know, we trying to romance and be cool and slick about it because the music itself helped set the mood. It told the story for us.
Yeah.
Now when we rolling with our boys, we pop in the mixtape with LL, Slick Rick. We rolling, we rocking. The music is setting the tone. And at that same time, it's feeding us what we're looking for at that time. Now we had balance. We had good music out there. Now you got drill rap, which from what I was told, in order to be a drill rap, whatever you rap about, you'd have to done before, including the crime.
That's part of the initiation, that you have to prove you've done it before you can sign the deal.
Oh, wow.
What I'm saying is you've got the music out there that is so misogynistic. Now the women are actually just as misogynistic as the men.
Yeah.
They're just as hard as the guys.
Yep.
So you got a generation of young people that get a constant diet of this content, and the communities are affected because I remember there been times, you know, with hanging out with my boys and we drinking a little bit, listening to some NWA, and at the time the hottest record was F the Police. We riding down Virginia Beach.
Right.
Go beside us, we looking at them. Yeah. You know, we all wired at the time because people don't understand entertainment and music can set the tone.
Or Public Enemy's Fight the Power.
That's the X Clans. Because remember this when we started rocking the X hats, everybody was cross colors.
That's right.
Culture. The music influenced the culture. And a lot of the times we were reflective of that. Because I remember as a kid looking at the record albums and the Isley Brothers and all, I saw my uncles and my aunts and stuff walking bell bottoms and afros and the pick with the fist at the top and yeah, I mean, so it's the culture, right? So the culture of the music today, there is no balance. And
there's no balance. And let me piggyback off of that, E. And I probably told this story before, but once I heard, and I think it came out around the same time Spike Lee came out with Malcolm X. When Malcolm X came out, and I remember the scene when Denzel, of course, is playing Malcolm X, and he's walking in the yard, and they're talking about the pig and what type of animal it was. And around the same time, KRS-One had his album Edutainment out. The album didn't do well, but he had a song on there called Beef.
Right.
And he ran down what happens and what the government does and how the beef gets from the farm to your plate. And from that moment, hearing that album or that particular song and watching that movie, I said, I'm not eating beef anymore. I gave up beef.
Wow.
I gave it up.
I haven't heard that because I've been eating steak.
Yeah. So but if you listen to that song, I mean, and it's true, and it's even worse now what they're putting in the food. Right. You know, but to support your point about how it can influence you. Oh, yes. I'm watching and I'm listening to everything that my daughter is listening to.
Right.
You know, on her phone or her iPad, any song she's hearing. All right, I'm listening to those lyrics. Okay, all right, she's cool. You know, but they do play a role, and they do play and they do have an influence. But if drill rap is all you're hearing, there's no balance, Johnny. None whatsoever.
Listen, an oversaturation of anything will change your thinking. Do you remember back in the day when you used to go to the record store? You might have went in the record store for Anita Baker, but they was playing Keith Sweat on the system.
Right.
You're like, oh,
right.
What?
Let me get both of those.
Yeah, give me both of those. Because
right.
You hear it over and over and those kinds of things. Like I said, an oversaturation of anything can change your thinking. And if that's all you're getting, that's the problem with there not being any balance. Hey, when were on the come up. You know, we had Millie Jackson out there
saying her thing, doing
She's saying everything.
Right.
Doing all kind of wild stuff. But that was not, we didn't get, that wasn't every day,
every
every
artist. Yeah.
hour, every,
Mhm.
no.
Right.
It actually was specialty, to tell the truth. It was specialty. It's like what was once specialty is the norm now.
Right.
So it's like, it's almost like I feel like some artists cannot go in the studio and make a record without saying every vile thing that you can think of. Just, it's like, I sometimes I'm sitting here, people send me music. I'm like, okay, what was the point? What was the reason for using that word? Because you know that in order to get radio, to get it somewhere, I know you can play it on SoundCloud and all these other places, it doesn't matter. But for that level that you're trying to go, you're gonna have to take that word out. Even Beyonce, she had to take bitch out the song. You had to take it out.
Now, do we sound like a bunch of, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because,
Okay.
you know, you mentioned Millie Jackson, right? And we used to sneak and listen to Richard Pryor records and Red
Yeah.
Fox records
Red
and
Fox,
Dolomite, down in the jungle deep, you know. You know, we used to listen to I would sneak to listen to some of that stuff that my mom's had. So we
Get off
heard,
my lawn. Get off my lawn. You said
we would hear that stuff. So I think, to play devil's advocate, we just sound like a whole bunch of old fogies that just are not up on the music that's out today. What do you two have to say about that?
Get off my lawn.
And Eric, your radio station that you sell for plays some of that stuff.
We play a lot of it. I think what happens, I mean, it's interesting because there is a decent mix that we have, but you know, the thing about it is the folks that control the charts, control the radio stations, control a lot of the stuff don't look like us. And they could care less what they're pushing.
Bingo.
What they're pushing on our community. And if we can make money by exploiting the community, they're going to do it.
I want to just add one thing to that because I agree with you 100%. But one thing I would add to that is we as a people, we don't have to be so accepting. We don't have to accept everything that they feed to us. As they continue to spoon feed negativity to us, we don't have to consume it. We don't have to. We can speak with our wallets. We can speak with our GoPay, Apple Pay, whatever. We can speak. But as long as we're paying those subscriptions, as long as we're consuming, as long as we're that to the guy that's funneling it, that's saying that's what the market wants. That's what the consumer wants. So that's what we're gonna make. Nobody want to hear Teddy Pendergrass saying close the door. They want to hear other words that I choose not.
Kick in the doorway, bend the 4-4. All they heard was Papa, don't hit me no more.
Yeah, you know. So,
and I like big. So
I just think that for that balance, we can be a little bit more vocal as consumers. That just, I don't want this. I don't want it. You know, but it's almost like we do want it because we do consume it. We do pay for the subscriptions. We do utilize the music platforms, and it's like it's just as simple as the music streaming services that, you know, I gotta freaking get 3,000 damn streams to make $3 or whatever the math is.
Right.
Whereas, and I know, so a lot of times when we're having these conversations and you're like, nobody is playing CDs anymore. And I said, really? Most of the people that you're talking to, the card that they have, everybody's not rolling in the 2024, whatever. I'm not saying that people don't have this, they do. But there are people that do have CD players in their cars. There are people that do have CD players in their homes. There are people that like a physical. And what I say is if you're just so against CDs, if you're just so against it, as an artist, look at it as a marketing tool. It's got your name on it. It's got the name of the song on it. Heck, some of it, you can put your picture on it. You got to put your picture on the actual disc, or you can put your picture on the jacket. So look at it as marketing. with the stream and D-Train and I were talking one day, and we just like we're doing right now. And D-Train said to me, you know, Johnny, I can't autograph a stream.
You threw it back with D-Train. So
yeah, D-Train, he said, I can't autograph a stream.
So
and, we were just talking about the differences of, and he, like when he does a show, people want something. They want to take you home with them. They want, if you did your job while you was on that stage, they want something. And so they're looking for that physical something. So if you feel that your consumer is not utilizing CDs, then use it. Let it be a takeaway. Let it be a takeaway.
I'm
you
still
had
a CD guy.
Put your song on a CD, sell it for $1, not $15, because y'all try to sell them for $15 and nobody buy it. Sell it for $1. Isn't that what Steve Jobs did? Took the song,
99-cent download.
Yeah. Sell your CD for $1. There are people that will give you $1 so you'll shut up. Right. Here, okay, I'll take it. So if you walk in there with 100 CDs that you sold for $1, you're gonna walk out with $100, as opposed to walking out with nothing.
Yeah,
it's music, in my opinion. I mean, I've always looked at it as an emotional. It's like an emotional element. It is something that speaks to you.
Oh my God, it's the soundtrack of your life.
Yeah, it is.
There's certain music that you hear, you're like, oh man, I remember hanging out with blah blah blah, or that was her favorite song. Well, I don't want to hear that song again because blah blah blah. I mean, it was a soundtrack of her life. And speaking of soundtrack, let's talk about this man right here. Soundtracks.
Oh my God!
Now, some people call him Black Moses. Some people call him Isaac.
Yeah.
If you're a millennial, you might call him Chef because you watched him on South Park.
Right.
We talk about Isaac Hayes. What you doing there with Black Moses?
Man, I'm trying to say to myself, was that it? It had to be in Memphis.
Yeah, that's definitely Memphis.
Yeah, it had to be in Memphis. It's no telling. I mean, come on, man. I was the program director. I was Queen Bee.
Yeah, okay. All right. You out there with Chef?
Yeah, so because that's definitely an old picture.
Old school.
But I'm just, just based on what we're talking about tonight and that emotion and that connectivity between radio people and the artists.
Yeah.
Genuine, there was relationships, man. I'm telling you, I bet you people play songs at radio stations now. The only time they ever have any conversation with those people is if, and I do say if there's a call in, or if there is something and the artist, visits the radio station or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that there's like relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had so many relationships with artists, and I was able to transcend that when I went into the record business. And it's just so many things that are different now. I think that we, as a culture, what was that? 50 years of culture we just got through celebrating.
Hip hop, yeah.
I just think that we as a culture that we need to receive our own. We need to grasp our own. We need to support our own. We need to take our own. It's like we have so much music out there that never gets heard. We have so much music that it just simply never gets played. Like I want to say thank you guys. Definitely want to.
Are we going to talk about that too?
Well, we can talk about that, but I got to say thank you, because that little radio show that we do is just something that I love. But it is so many songs that we sit here and listen to try to pick, because I can't get about 14 or 15 in there. But
in that hour. Yeah.
In that hour. But it's like listening to those songs, and sometimes I'm like, oh, damn, I meant to play. I should have played. I didn't play. And it's a lot of good music out there. And all of the music is not what you guys just said, trill rap or whatever it is.
Oh, it's some good stuff out there.
It's a lot of good music out there.
There's some good stuff.
We are hungry. We are hungry for Gerald Levert. So he got to be somewhere. This little kid, October London. Woo, okay, somebody.
Lil Marvin.
Yes,
him.
It's somebody that just want to sing a song that makes me feel good.
Right.
Lucky Day.
Song
Lucky
that
Day.
I can
I like
relate
Lucky.
to.
I like Lucky Day. He's good too.
Yeah.
Lucky Day is good.
There's some good ones out there now. There's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
But
Now, we're gonna still keep it back. We're still gonna keep it back in time, man, because I mean, you gotta for y'all, some of my folks gonna be watching this like, okay, I get it. This is some OG stuff, right? What I'm about to put out right now. Because if you had one of them cell phones that Johnny had right there,
She got the brick.
got the brick. She got the brick. I don't know who she calling. She could be calling Russia. She could be calling Saturn.
Slam.
Slam. Let the boys be boys.
oh my goodness. I probably was saying, look, we're at the record store. We'll be at your store. We at whatever store we're at. We'll be at your store in about 20 minutes. So make sure everything's set. We'll be there in 20 minutes.
Is that Arnie? Arnie was the phono booth? Was it the phono booth? E?
I don't know. I just pulled it off. I pulled it off of her page.
No, I'm just saying, in Richmond, it was Arnie's phono booth. Is that what it was called?
Artie's. Yeah, that was Artie's.
Right. Okay, Artie's, right.
Yeah, I mean, it was like $5 a minute on them damn phones back then. You get a bill, $300, man. You better cut. Who you calling? Who you talking to?
Johnny got an expense account. It didn't matter.
Yeah. Now you up there with Onyx? Is that the boss back there?
That is boss.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
She just
passed.
To me. Yeah, she just passed.
She just passed. Okay. Yeah. Okay, is that Gio? Look at Gio.
In the back there, that guy worked for Columbia. I can't think of his name right now.
Okay. Yeah, so we got Onyx. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Metro Star. And we're still gonna take it back. We're gonna keep it back with you. You got Freaky.
Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah.
What was y'all doing? What was y'all getting? Okay, I
was on your page. You got it up there.
I don't even look at my page. Okay.
Hey, that's the first thing I go to is the guest page.
Wow.
Now Teddy did the show with me too. Teddy. And Teddy was off the chain.
Yes, he was.
Teddy was off the chain. He had that when he had that relationship with Prince and Morris Day at the time, he told me the story on how Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis had gotten fired for Prince because they missed the flight because they were doing the SOS album and it snowed in Georgia and they couldn't get out. And Prince fired them. I was like, Teddy. He's like, yeah, man, it was crazy. Wow. It's crazy. And then of course Frankie, he's on his final tour right now.
Yeah. That picture I do remember. That picture was taken at Jack the Rapper.
Oh, okay.
That picture I remember. You see my badge there? That picture.
Oh, you got the badge.
I got my badge. That picture I remember. I was Jack the Rapper. Yeah, you know that was the place to be.
In ATL, that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'm totally going off base. Do you watch the show on Stars called BMF?
No.
Okay. Well, they actually. A lot of
Black Mafia, right?
Yeah, Black Mafia. Yeah. But they talk about because a part of it is based on some truth, and they talk about the Jack the Rapper convention. And when I watched it, I was like, "Yep, that was pretty much going on at Jack the Rapper." So
you saw the episode when they showed Jack in the studio, right? That one.
They showed Jack in the studio.
There was pictures that they showed of Tony Terry and Lisa from Lisa and Cult Jam.
Right.
That same shoot, I must have been standing on the side waiting to take my turn to take a picture with Tony Terry and Lisa. Because I was like, I knew as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, I'm standing right behind the camera, waiting my turn to take a picture. I was there when they took those shots. Because I got pictures with Tony Terry with the same outfit and Lisa what she had on.
Okay. That's what's up.
And Vanessa Williams from the same shot that they used in BMF.
BMF?
Mm-hmm.
You've also ran with some of the icons of Black music.
Oh my goodness.
You running with Dion? I mean, that's a flex right there. If there ain't no other picture we got, that's the flex right there.
Now that was at her home. She just a wonderful lady. What can I say? We were talking about we wanted to do a promotion together.
Okay.
And we just was kind of, chopping it up, as you guys say. But yeah, And so we decided, we took a picture. We took a couple of pictures there in her living room. But yeah, that talk about icon. I mean, she's got stories, man. I'm telling you, her story. She shared a story with me of I don't know if it was during the time of Say a Little Prayer for You or some song that she had, and she said they always put like asymmetric designs or what like that on the album cover. They didn't put her picture on there. And so they had this big show that they had been pumping because the record was really big. It was doing really well. And she said that, but her picture was not there. And she said she had to go do this show. And people actually really hadn't seen her. And I guess, you know, because she was, I think at that time, she was more pop than she was, say, the Black artist, if you will. And that may have been the reason for not putting the image there. I mean, I don't know, but she just shared the story with me of having to do that show and the album being out, and her image was not on the album cover.
Wow.
Just a lot of stories. I mean, she's shared, I mean, her, I want to get it right. I think they're cousins, Miss Sissy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah, her and Sissy. Yep, Houston.
Yeah, just such amazing stories of what it was like touring or performing, you know, just being in the mix, so to speak. Just amazing. Just
Would
amazing.
it be safe to say that you would be looking forward to seeing a biopic about her life, as Tiana Taylor has been cast? So basically, it said that she may play Dionne Warwick. In fact, looking at her, they do resemble.
They
She
look
resemble a young Dionne Warwick.
I saw those pictures.
Yeah.
Tiana Taylor. Oh my God, she killed it. She killed it.
Yeah.
I think if I don't mean, you know, I haven't followed her in terms of her acting career, but if she pulls that one off, I think that one would be a huge, that'll be a cute.
She's a pretty good actress. Actually.
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
is.
So that's just will be a good one. That will be a good one. That's kind of like like Angela Bassett doing Tina Turner.
Oh yeah.
I think people were skeptical in the beginning, but she went in there and she slayed that role completely.
She did.
Slayed it.
Now I pulled this one up because what's the young lady's name that the trained musician that likes to no matter how heavy she is, she's gonna be in Little or Nothing. That says she's about to
Lizzo.
And the reason why, one of the cool things about pulling up Martha Wash is because she was the voice behind major artists that we thought were the young ladies that were in the group singing, and they wasn't.
Yeah.
And they had Martha singing it. Michael, and because Martha was, she was a weather girl. She was a little heavy.
Yeah.
And Lizzo is the girl that's like, you're going to get all of me. I'm not going to fake nothing. I ain't going to be singing behind nobody. You're going to accept me for who I am. At the time when Martha was doing her thing, do you think that she sang and did all of those tracks because she wouldn't be accepted as a heavy woman in the business?
That's kind of difficult to answer. I will give my answer. I think it was work. She was getting work is what I think. I'm going to say she was getting work, but I will also say, because we've had this conversation, she's an artist.
Right.
That's her voice.
Right.
And, if somebody, and I'll use the word manipulate, is what I feel. If somebody manipulates you to say, this body of work, I just want you to do Milli Vanilli. I just want you to do this body of work, and they pay you to do that body of work. You're not really looking at it as maybe this is going to be some phenomenon or something like that. So it's like if you do it one time and it happens, so now the next time around, wait a minute. But I just don't. I think that this is a time when the industry was going through its shift. Like I just said.
But remember, she did this for Black Box. She did it for Ya Kid K. She did it for
Was she on Snap? I Got the Power. Was that her?
Yeah.
She was Snap, and she was cool. She did. It was like 6 groups. She was doing all the vocals for her.
Like I said, work.
You
got it. I don't think it was her accepting anything because she was a plus size woman.
Okay.
I think getting work. It's hard. It's just like we talk about the stuff about Black actresses in Hollywood and getting work. And the industry was going through that shift at the time. Just think about during that time when those songs were out, we were coming out of this disco thing and going into this, everything started becoming very visual. Everything was about the look. Everything was about that image.
Yeah.
And basically she did not fit that image, but she had that powerhouse.
She had the voice.
Yeah, she had that. Oh my God, that powerhouse. Listen, if you play, what is it? Let Me Sweat, See You Sweat, whatever the name of that song has literally no meaning without her voice.
Oh, I mean, most of the songs had no meaning without her.
Sweat. Yeah.
She carried that entire song.
Yeah.
Just to have, what was her name? Velma. I think her name was Velma, the pretty girl that was
right.
in the video. Come on, man. But that's because at that time, everything was so visual. Everything was about the visuals. The video was the big thing. You're on BBC, you're on MTV, everything was visual. So I just think it was a hard time at that time.
Okay.
And Lizzo just kind of like came into this era.
She kicked the door in and said, "You gonna accept all of this?"
She come into the girl power era.
Right.
But you can't wear a thong song to the, LA basketball game. You can't do that now.
Hey, you can't tell Lizzo that.
Look,
that's what you're not gonna do.
My grandson said to me, "Nobody wants to see that."
No.
He was like, "Nobody wants to see that."
No.
So I mean, I think some things she may have taken it a bit far, just as a woman.
Right.
Some things she may have taken a bit far, and I think she believes it herself. Because if it wasn't, why is she losing weight? Why are you trying to change things? If you believe all of that stuff, I think you used it to get where you wanted to go. You've been accepted. You've reached a certain plateau, and so now you're readdressing some things. Right. And I think that when you look back on it, I think when she looks back on it, when she has a family and her kids are looking, you want to think like,
Mom, what was you doing?
No. Now
when we're talking about that balance and having good R&B versus as well as the hip hop.
Yeah.
Nobody did it better. There's some folks that did it well, but this brother right here, Howard Hewitt. I mean, if you can, at that time, you come by my house and you heard, if time won't allow for such an affair, darling, I don't care. We don't have to go anywhere. We'll stay inside, turn the lights down low, play our favorite video, or better, have our own private show. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you coming around the house, you can hear some Howard Hewitt. It's on and popping.
I'm telling you. And listen, still sounds good.
That brother still can sing.
Okay, let's put that out there. Still sounds good.
Yeah.
The lesson that I think, like you said a minute ago, you're just some bitter old folks. Okay, listen, let me take a lesson. Look who's working now. Look at Jeffrey Osborne. How old is he?
Oh my God. He looks great.
Look at that body. Look at Jeffrey Osborne. He's taking care of himself, taking care of the most important thing, the vocal cords.
That's right.
The vocal cords.
Mm-hmm.
And these artists, see, then they had to sing. They didn't have auto-tune. They had to sing. Be able to pick up that microphone and project. They had to do that. And at the same time, protect their instrument and their instrument, their voice. Jeffrey Osborne still sounds fabulous. Gladys Knight, fabulous.
Oh,
Diana Ross, fabulous. These people still sound great. So you have to ask yourself, I'm putting out my song now where I'm saying everything that I know my grandmama don't want to hear, but I'm saying it because that's what's happening now. Look at these people. Diana Ross could book a gig right now if she wanted to. Right now. Gladys Knight, right now.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now. And to me, if I were an artist, that is what I would be striving for. I would be striving for that longevity in my career and not that hit it, miss it, quit it, I'm done. I had one song, See You Want to See You. It's a yep, I want to see you. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead and adjust, Johnny.
She was Johnny Black on us.
Yeah.
We ain't drinking that today.
I do have something over here now. Oh, it's water.
That's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, Johnny, you were talking about a shift, and I think it's interesting because it may be time for another shift. You want to go ahead? You want to go ahead and read, Eddie?
Oh yeah, Wanda said she got to go. Love you,
Best
Johnny.
party ever.
Best party ever is in Palm Springs. That was
Ooh.
fun.
Real quick before one goes, man, we used to have those all girl parties.
In Palm Springs?
Oh yes.
Do tell.
Yes.
What's
Listen,
happening at those?
Wanda,
What happened in the bar?
is safe with us. We will not tell.
It's 2024. It's the year. Never mind.
Yeah. There were some parties. I guess while they were at the all girls parties, I was partying with West Party Johnsons.
Yeah, well,
His parties were epic.
Yeah, for sure.
Party Johnson, we had a little something going on too.
So you were battling each other. But you were talking about a shift, and when you talk about that, remember that time. And it's interesting that Eric had Howard Hewitt on the screen because there was a shift in the late 90s, or I should say, no, the late 80s, where there was a heavy concentration of R&B, and then radio had to find a way to embrace hip hop. But around that time, which was so gratifying, and as y'all were talking about Martha Wash, we were playing so many genres of music at the same time, because we would play the technotronic, the I Got the Power, the Black Box, but then you would turn around and play some of the reggae with the Shabba Ranks, and then you would play the straight R&B, and you would play then your Heavy D's who would make his cameos on the R&B songs, and then along with the hip hop. So we were playing in that late 80s, early 90s, all genres of music. We didn't care as long as it was good music. It seems as if for us to get back to that, it's now time for that shift. But it takes the radio stations to say, hey, we're going to play songs that are all about that shift. Do you think we can get back to that shift, or can the music start to be produced? Because of course you have someone like Tank that's out there talking about R&B music and R&B money.
Well, I think what you had then that you don't have now is you had a plethora of good producers. Everybody got drum machine or whatever those machines they got.
Yeah.
Everybody got Logic and Pro Tools, and everybody got auto tune. So everything sounds the same. Everybody's doing the same thing. And just because you have Pro Tools does not mean you are a producer. Okay. Right. Just because you got it on your laptop does not make you a producer. And I'm not saying that you can produce. I am not saying that. What you had then, you had Quincy Jones, or you had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, or you had Babyface and L.A. Reid. You had a plethora of Dark Child. You had a plethora of delivering different sounds. And so you have a lot to pull from. Yeah. What you pull from now, it all sounds the same. You got to really dig to figure out, because the beats are the same. You like, did they all go to the Guitar Center and get the same damn drum machine?
Yeah. No, Johnny, you're absolutely right. I was driving, I was listening to Sirius XM, and I'm not going to say who the artist was, but a song came on, right? And I was listening to it, and he sounded good. Yeah. But the instrumentation was just, I said, why? What sound is that? It sounded flat. I said, that is not, if it was supposed to be a sax, it didn't sound like a sax. If it was supposed to be a guitar riff, it just sounded flat. And this is a recorded song that was being played on Sirius XM. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That's all they got. It was just so whack. I'm like, come on now.
You know what? I think because the music isn't as good as it used to be, right? People are still craving for good music. I think that's where it opened the door for Afrobeats. Yeah. Because right now, those guys, good tracks, they're singing, people dig it. I mean, there's some.
Where's the music coming from?
Africa,
the motherland.
You're talking Tim's, you're talking Jace Who. I mean, these folks out, and the music sounds good,
Right.
and we feel the rhythm of the music and the beat. So there are artists out there that are doing their thing, but everybody's like, well, why is this Afrobeat starting to be the new thing? Well, it's good music first and foremost.
And it's different.
It's different.
Okay? It's different. And it's instrumentation. I'm sure they use technology. I'm sure they use whatever the new nuances are.
Right.
But you know, I was introduced to Afro beats. I think like maybe 2017, 2018. I went to Africa, and I went there with one frame of mind.
What part did you go
Oh
to?
my God, they completely flipped me.
Okay.
What part of Africa did you go to, Johnny?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's embedded in our DNA. So our DNA identifies with the music, with the sound. That's why it sounds good to us.
Well, it's that drum beat from what? Way back when? From even go back to slavery times. It's
Right.
The drum.
No, yeah.
That
Before
rhythm.
that. Right.
Yeah, it's that rhythm. And we just gotta, you know, somehow, some way get back to that. But I just feel that everybody can't. I mean, the thing that made Black music so great to me was the differentials. Gladys didn't sound like Aretha. Aretha didn't sound like Shaka. Luther didn't sound like James Brown. James Brown didn't sound. Earth, Wind and Fire didn't sound like the Isley Brothers.
Right.
Everybody had their own unique sound and their own unique presentation. I was looking online there the other day. I was sat here and I laughed watching it, where Quincy Jones was talking about when I think the song was, I don't know if it was "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." I think that was the song, but anyway, he said Michael called him and told him to take the strings out because it was messing with his groove.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. Quincy was like, "Are you crazy?" Yeah.
So,
and that's what we remember about that particular song.
Yes.
Yeah.
First when it first come on. That's
right.
You get. So like having iconic producers like that hear, you know, you're the it's like, you know, say like Whitney Houston. Okay, Whitney, that voice.
Right.
But it takes that really good producer. It takes that good person, sound engineer, the people that can really pull out the greatness of her voice and match it with a sound. It's not just one pre-programmed sound in a machine that you'll put your voice to. And I just think that the producers need to come back, because at the end of the day, what we talked about at the very beginning, the money.
Right.
The money. And it's all about, you know, the cycle of the revenue. And the producers I'm sorry, the producers got to come back, because everything
Eddie, Babyface, LA, Kashif, Ntume.
We have a computer software, AI.
Right.
We have everything is in a software program.
So what new artist do you like?
Her.
She's a producer though. So
listen, I just like her. I like her presentation. Melina Moye, guitarist. I love her.
Okay.
It's a lot of artists that
you like Ari? How you like Ari Lennox?
It depends.
Okay.
Depends on the song. We play. I think we played one of her songs, "Pressure" or something. We played, but it depends on the song. It really depends on the song for me. This young lady, we've been playing her song. She lives in Atlanta, named Francesca. I think she actually is a Christian artist, but it's just the song. It's the temperament of the song that sounds so great, and the production of the song that's so good that makes it a song that I just love listening to. I mean, it's several artists out there that you know, Stephanie Mills still sounds fabulous.
Yes, she does.
Some artists out there still very, very good. Some of there are newer artists out there that are coming along that are making great music. It's just a lot of that music we don't hear on commercial radio. Some we do hear on Sirius. There's this little girl group that I love. You probably heard them on a series, Lady. I think it's like 5 girls, and
Okay.
they were all Lizzo's band. And I think I don't know if Lizzo fired them. I actually don't know what happened, so let me not put anything out there wrong. But I know
They ever did us wrong, we gone.
But I don't think they're not with Lizzo now. But
Okay.
they were her band.
Okay.
They sound really good. They sound real good. I
All right.
like their production. I like their vocals. Just a real good artist. So, you know, it's a couple of them out there I like.
All right, you in tune to Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. And there's 3 DJs here tonight.
Right?
3
Right?
DJs. And make sure you hit the smash the like button as well as the share button on all of the social media that you actually are checking us out on. In addition to that, I want to have a little fun. Johnny, what was the worst artist you had to deal with?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones?
Wow.
I say that real quick.
He said that with the quickness.
I
too.
know that quick.
You ain't even looking at no, Jim Jones.
Well, I'll tell you, I had 2. Actually, I had 2.
Who's the other one?
Foxy Brown.
Fox Boogie?
Foxy Brown, yeah, we just didn't hit it off.
Wow.
Ingrid?
So you had Jim Jones during the balling era?
I actually don't know what the era was because I completely took him out of my psyche.
Wow.
I don't know what it was. I don't.
So you
And
have
Foxy Brown from the beginning.
Foxy Brown we just never. She was very. I don't know what her deal was. I don't know who she was angry with.
Ingrid.
But yeah. Every time, man, she was very difficult to work with. Very, very difficult to work with.
Now you work
at a diva now. Diva.
Coming in the door, acting like a diva?
Oh, Mariah Carey was the diva.
Mariah was a diva too.
Oh, the diva.
You know Mariah had to be a diva.
Okay, the diva. My favorites.
Who's your favorite?
Tommy.
My favorites: Montel Jordan and LL Cool. Those are my favorites. LL.
Really?
Oh yes, my favorite. Okay.
Why LL Cool J?
Listen, LL was shooting Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, the shark movie.
Mm-hmm. He lived.
He lived.
He lived.
Yeah, I was trying to do a promotion with V103, and I don't care what I put on the table. They wanted LL Cool J. I was like, LL Cool J is shooting a movie. Listen, Johnny, get us LL Cool J. I'm like, how? Well, you know what? My daddy always told me, nothing makes a failure but a try. So all you got to do is try. So I asked him, and he said that I think the fine. It was just, I think they said, did they say $100,000? Maybe it wasn't $100,000. Maybe it was $10,000. I don't know. Whatever the fine was, if you're late. So maybe it was $10,000 if you're late. And he said, I cannot be late. He said, I'll do it for you, but I cannot be late because I'll get fined. So the only way for LL to do V103 and be on the set of Deep Blue Sea was to use a private jet. So that means I would have to go to Russell and beg him to let me get a private jet.
Hey Russell, can you give me a private jet for LL, please?
But here's the funny thing. They said yes. And LL, he says, what? So the jet, I said, we sent a car, picked him up on the set of Deep Blue Sea, got on the plane, came to Atlanta. I said, what you need in Atlanta? He said, I only need a hotel where I can work out at. So I knew he could work out at the Ritz-Carlton, no problem. I put him at the Ritz-Carlton. He could go in the gym and do what he needed to do. He came over to V103, just all of those women, and he never flinched. He took pictures, he signed autographs, he hugged. I kept saying, okay, Todd, okay, we got to go because you can't believe he's okay, I'm going. But he was, it was just amazing that he did not want to disappoint. He did not want to disappoint anybody. He stayed as long as he possibly could. I just went and grabbed him. I said, Todd, we got to go. I'm sorry. We have to go. And I grabbed him, put him in the car, took him to the airport, jet. He's on time. I guess he must have slept on the plane because he is on time on the set. And he calls and said, hey, I was on time. I'm good.
Wow.
I'm like, whoo, B103, y'all play all my records, right?
Right. So they owed you. So,
So I mean,
and that was just for an interview, not a performance, just for an interview.
Yes, well,
it's crazy.
what did well, he did do. He gonna always, back then,
Right.
somebody got the dat or whatever they was using then in their pocket. So, he was gonna do a song or two, but he did that. And the thing was, I think it was the Sister Circle or something that the station was doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sister Circle. There was so many women there.
For sisters only. Sisters only.
I know it was something like that. It was something like that.
We started to report it again this year. So.
Started in Baltimore. V103 in Baltimore started it first. Anyway.
Wasn't around for neither one of those. So I mean, you work with L. L went from doing
films
from music to film and now television.
Yeah.
You work with iconic guys, not just artists that just, did an album here, did an album there. And because some people fizzle out, or they just stay in their lane. You got people that jumped out the lane. METHOD.
Man.
You watch him on television now all the time. You've got the first noted billionaire rapper that was under your tutelage. Sean Carter, aka Jigga, aka Jay-Z. So how was it working with Jay?
Jay was so quiet. I can't.
I tell people that when I interviewed him, because he did my video show a couple of times, he was just so cool and laid back.
He was very quiet, cool, laid back from my interactions.
Yeah.
Had different interactions. My interactions, he was just very quiet, very reserved. I said he was studying. That's what I said.
That's what he does.
He was studying because Dame was the mouthpiece.
Oh yeah. And I gotta admit, Dame it wasn't a time that he opened his mouth.
Yeah, he was.
Dame gonna say something.
Jay-Z was just very quiet and reserved. I said he was taking notes and studying. Very, very quiet. He was easy to work with. No, I did not experience any challenges really. Like I said, he was just very quiet, very reserved, and just whatever that's what the plan is. This is what we're doing. That's what we did. So
how was it working with
I
X?
wish all of them was like that. But
how was it working with X?
Oh gosh, I was afraid of X. I was afraid of the dogs. I mean, listen, I have never been a dog person. Never.
So he actually bought the dogs?
I remember when we did the Hoodstock and he had those dogs. He used to bring them dogs to the office. I didn't.
What's up, Johnny? What's up, Johnny?
I couldn't do the dogs. Listen, his girl was Jazz. Him and Jazz was like two peas in a pod.
Okay.
Look, man, I did whatever I was that I knew I had to do, that I had to set up, whatever. But those dogs, I remember one time going to a trailer. I was like, "Are the dogs in the trailer?" Okay, not me. I'm not going. The dogs bothered me to no end. I couldn't do the dogs.
And how was it working with Red?
Crazy. They were too young.
Red wilding out on you.
They were two young men that my funniest story of Redman and Method Man. They were in Memphis. I had them in Memphis.
Okay.
And all the girls, white, Hispanic, all kind of girls.
Love them.
Just running up to them to sign autographs, signing their shirts, shining their arm, signing just whatever. And they're in the middle of the street. Okay, that's a traffic violation. You can't stop traffic. Stop traffic in the middle of the street. And here come the police, and Redman take off running and throw a big bag of weed to me, and I drop it in my
See, that's the stories right there. Dropping a bag of weed on. Happened to me all the time.
No, look here, nobody suspect me. I got no weed.
How did you?
But it was like really funny. And actually, because Method Man was out there in the streets with the girls, Method actually got arrested. But you know, again, like we talked earlier about relationships,
Yeah.
that was one of those things where once they took him downtown. Redman was in the hotel room because gave me the weed and he was gone. Method Man, they took downtown. And so that's when I'm on the phone. I'm calling the judge. I'm calling everybody I know. I'm calling jailers. I'm calling everybody. I said, my guy listen, they never took meth to a cell.
Okay.
Never in a room like he was a celebrity. And it was after that, because before that, they was kind of rebellious, you know how artists will try you. And they were kind of rebellious. But it's like after that, Method Man said, you know every damn body. I never went to my cell. I said, well, where were you? I was in a room sitting down. We went through the process. The next morning, I took him down the judge. I had already met with the judge. Everything straightened out. Put him on the plane. Redman and Method Man became my really big friends after that. They did verses. When they was doing that verses on,
yeah,
they stopped in the middle of verses and said, "Oh, we gotta stop. We gotta salute the real OG." And they called my name.
J Dub in the house.
Yeah, you gotta holler at J Dub. Of course, I now got cool points with my grandkids. They was like, "What?
They just shouted you out." Yeah, that's because I kept his ears out of jail.
Did they say J Dub? They said J Dub, or did they say Johnnie Walker?
They said Johnnie Walker, and
Johnnie Walker.
Red said
Okay.
J Dub. So they said both of them. Yeah, they said both of them.
So how was the rivalry with having Red, Meth, X, Ja? No, Ja was on Murder.
But that was all at Def Jam.
They were all at Def Jam. How was it, Jay? How was it dealing with all those personalities? Just a lot of men with a lot of, and everybody's about their numbers. Who was the top dog in terms of selling at that time? Was it X or was it J?
Probably J and X, and then the Cisco project did really well.
Okay.
The thing I would say about at that time, see, Def Jam, we had radio records, we had street records. So we had records that did really well on the street.
Sure did.
They may not have been played on the radio, but they did well on the streets and they sold. And so to feather, like they said, feather in your cap or whatever, our department, which was the promotions department, so hey, we get the high five, we get the salute because the record is selling. It's not on the radio, but it's selling. So you got those songs that are on radio, the DMX, the Jay-Z, you've had those radio records of Beastie Boys, We Fight for My Right to Party.
Oh God, I forgot about those guys.
Were radio songs.
The original Eminems.
We had to get them in the streets because radio just was not going to play them. So I think for me, I only allowed people to address me as Miss Walker. That was my respect yardstick.
Right.
Because you could say, you don't know me, you can't call me J Dub. You don't know me like that.
Right.
You haven't earned that. I haven't given you the license. You can't call me shit. You can't call me none of that. I only answer to Miss Walker. Right. And so it kind of caught on. And so then it was like, if you got people like Jim Caparo addressing you as Miss Walker, playing field just got leveled. So that is what, I saw that the fact that it was all guys, it didn't bother me.
Okay.
And at the other side of the coin was, I got your record. I don't care what Kevin said. I don't care what anybody said. I'm the one that's directing the team, that's taking your music, whether it's in the streets or the radio. And you want to piss me off?
Nah, they won't piss you off.
Do you want to piss me off? I don't think you do. I think you want to listen to what I have to say. So that, even though a lot of times I might have been bluffing.
So you play poker. Okay, Johnny.
But it's like, okay, I ain't got no record. Now, my name is not on any of these songs. Let me hold them up. You see my name? My name is not on. So what we going to do? I don't care if I'm not going to be number 10, number 5. I'm not going to be number nothing. So what we doing?
So you had Mariah Carey, Neo. I mean, you had a your roster was huge, but then you decided to. What's that little movie producer? His name's Steven Spielberg. You ever heard of this dude? Did E.T. and a couple other things. How'd you run across Steven Spielberg and run in DreamWorks?
Well, I wish I had ran across him. I didn't exactly run across him. We had to come to an impasse at Def Jam. Things were going in a different direction, if you will. Right. That's another session. We had actually departed from Def Jam.
Okay.
And there was an opening at DreamWorks. I knew Johnny Barbas from Island when he was at Island. So again, we talk about relationships. We talk about the relationship. And so it said, well, hey, you know, it's they need a head. They need somebody to run Black music at DreamWorks. And so I went, interview, sat down, talked the talk. You know, I had numbers and stuff in my head. I sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about. So when it was all said,
that works.
When it was all said and done, it was like, you can't out-talk me. Right. And then you could back it up. It was just like you just pulled up that monitor. Go pull up the monitor. Go see who's number one.
Right.
So if number one is what you're looking for, this conversation is over.
Right now.
Right now. Because I number one R&B, number one hip hop, number one pop guys wouldn't have a number one if I hadn't taken number one first. Okay.
True.
It just was, when you're having those conversations, if you're confident and believe in yourself and you're really straightforward, they like, oh, okay, she the one.
Now, what's some of the artists on DreamWorks, just so people know that you rock?
Poetry, David Hollister. We actually signed Trey Songz before he was Trey Songz. Trey Songz. We had John B. We had a big album that I thought was really going to be great for the company, but at that point they had decided to sell the company. Ron Isley and Burt Bacharach did. I think the album was called "Here I Am."
Okay. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I thought that was gonna be that change we was talking about a few minutes ago.
It was released?
It kind of sorta, but okay. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because
I would love to hear that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I have a copy. I'll download it and send it to you. But yeah.
Okay, please do.
Here I am. Yeah.
Or perhaps play some of it on your show.
Well, we are women who jam. So
those are guys. We're gonna speaking.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Before we talk about women who jam, let's talk about your nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And what
I keep spinning around in this chair. Let's see.
Yeah, let everybody know what it is, because I mean, it's some serious stuff that you're doing, because empowerment of women is what you do. Now talk about it.
Listen, NABFEM is the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. It was started introduced in 2000 at the Urban Network, and it was about a voice for us. It was about understanding what we deal with as women, as you guys just talked about. Hey, you over there at Def Jam, all the guys, how did you handle that?
Yeah.
It was us understanding this playing field that is absolutely unlevel. It's not level at all, but we have to find our place, and we have to make our place, and we have to be in our place, and we have to stand on who we are. You know, gender, we preached gender equity 20 years ago. It's the thing now. We talked about gender equity 20 years ago. We talked about the gender pay gap 20 years ago. But it's like, while a lot of things have changed, some things have remained the same. So it is a constant challenge and job for us to continue to teach. You know, I talk to women all the time, young women. Some women don't want to hear what I have to say. Just like what you said a minute ago, Lorenzo. Oh, it's old school. Ain't nobody doing it like that no more.
Right.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, you're going to come back, because I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you how it's going to work out. And again, like I said, while we've made great strides, there was a time when maybe one or two females was on the charts. Women are ruling the charts now. Look at freaking Taylor Swift and Beyonce. They went out and did a tour and then recorded the tour and came back and put it in the movie theaters, and you paid them for what you had already seen.
That was crazy. I was like, y'all gonna tell me y'all gonna go out and buy a ticket to something you already bought a ticket for?
What you done already seen. But it's just like even what she, with the whole country album that she's released. I mean, women are really, really, as I would say, stepping out. I'm not gonna say stepping up because I think that cost the dude at Grammys his job by saying women need to step up. We've been stepping up all the time. It's just that the playing field for us has not been level. So we teach, we network, we empower, we inspire, we take women that have met the challenges in this industry, and we kind of like to pull the curtain back on their stories, and hopefully those stories will empower someone else. So that's what the organization is. It is about empowering, teaching, inspiring, and educating women that are seeking successful careers in music. And like I say, it's not going to always be easy, and everybody's not going to like you, and they're not going to like what you're doing, but you have to stand your ground and move forward with what you believe in. Now, if you don't believe in yourself, that's a different story. But we address that from time to time too. But it is about teaching, inspiring, educating, and encouraging women who are in entertainment. And we had to spread our wings because, as we've talked about tonight, the music industry it's changed dramatically, because when we started, it was all about music. We had the women in retail, women in distribution, women at record labels, women at radio stations. Well, that has changed dramatically. So we have a lot of women. They're attorneys, we have dentists, doctors, we have set designers, fashion designers, we have cosmetologists, we have masseuse, anybody that does anything that has anything to do with music and entertainment. We welcome them into our organization because we feel that the services that you provide impact people that are in music and entertainment. Lorenzo needs that massage so he can go and do the show. He got to have it. So, hey, so it's a variety of service providers that are a part of what we do, and that's what makes up the organization.
Good stuff, man.
That's good. That's good, Johnny.
Now, women who jam. What in the world is women who jam? I just need to know what it is.
Women who jam. Well, it's multicultural, multi-genre, a gathering place for women in music. You might hear on our show, you may hear Monty Long and you might hear a blues song. It's kind of like Frankie Crocker back in the day when he would play one song and turn around and play Barbra Streisand or play. It's all about women that are making great music. If you're not cursing, if you're not shooting anybody, if you're not whatever, just a good song, a good relative song, then those are the kind of songs that we like. It's a 1-hour radio show. Now, let me tell you, it started out as a salute to female DJs. They've, somewhat dissipated a little bit. Not as many, say, today, Black ones, let's do that. Let's say that was when we first started it. And so this is something that I say, and I get challenges, but the DJ, the female DJ in the club is a whole different animal from the female DJ that's at the radio station. She's sitting in the control booth and doing what she's doing. But if she out there at that club, or she at that party, or she at that event, that's a whole different lady. Yeah. It's a whole different thing. So it started like that, but we kind of migrated and said, well, where are the women that are making the music? And so we kind of got involved with a lot of female artists. And of course, the complaint was, they don't get their music on the radio and yakety yak. And so the next, I would say, pivot for me was I had left New York, came to Memphis. Friend of mine was doing the internet. This is when internet radio stations was popping off. And so he had a radio station. And every time I would go to his house, I was like, okay, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. That's not how you listen. You need a flow. You don't have a flow. You're just playing songs. Create a flow. Up, down. And so he's like, what?
Right.
So then he says to me, if it's that important to you, why don't you do it? I said, well, I don't have time to do it. At that particular time, I was music commissioner for the city of Memphis. I didn't have time to do a radio show, but I kept complaining with him. And he was like, look, why don't you take the damn show and you do it? So I said, well, if I did it, it would have to be all women. And he said, well, I don't care. Just do it. I need the content. So we decided to do the radio show, all female. And there it is.
And how long have you been doing that now?
We've actually been doing it about 10 years now.
Wow. I didn't know it was that long, Johnny.
Yeah. Been doing it about 10 years now.
Okay.
Every week. Never miss an episode.
You don't miss a week. You're going to get, the only time we don't do a new show is at Christmas time. We do it every week.
Okay. Well,
every week.
Women Who Jam can be heard on 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM on Sundays. There was a jock that was on from 12 until 4 at that time, and Johnny, you kind of knocked him out of the way. So, Women Who Jam can be heard on 100 Hip Hop and R&B Sundays, 12 noon. And actually, what I'm doing, Johnny, is I'm playing your shows back to back. So the previous week will play at 12, and then the new week, the new show for that week will play at 1. So I'm giving you 2 hours there. So, and I'm gonna do that every week.
He just put pressure on me now.
Hold on. I need to keep talking.
Hey Johnny, I got a special person just clicked in.
Okay. I had to step away for a second.
All right. Well, when you come back, read the screen.
Okay. So definitely check out her show. You can see it, and if you need to find 100 Hip Hop and R&B, all you can do is you can Google it. We're listed on over 100 platforms, but you can go to iHeart, you can go to Odyssey. If you have Amazon, where's my Fire Stick at? If you got an Amazon Fire Stick right here, boom, all you gotta do is click it and say, Alexa, play 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM. Bam, it'll come right on your Amazon Fire Stick to check out Johnny's show, which is I think I just activated my Fire Stick. And you can check out Women Who Jam on Sundays from noon until 2 with Johnnie Walker. So E, have you worked things out with Johnny on
the Soul Lounge Cafe?
Yeah,
absolutely. You can also check it out on the Soul Lounge Cafe each and every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. So if you go to soulloungecafe.com, you click listen live, or you can download the app on the Google Play or iOS store. Go ahead and, matter of fact, get your phone out, get the app, download it. Matter of fact, generally about this time, I would be doing the Quiet Storm, but I'm not tonight because I'm doing this.
Hey, have you started airing her show yet?
Yeah, we started last week. We started airing it last week.
Why don't you move it to 2? Can you move it to 2?
I got the Soul Logistics radio show. My boys down in Virginia State, they've been running from 2 to 4 for the last 6 months.
Okay, all right.
Hold on. Somebody said we play Women Who Jam Saturdays at 10 a.m. Once she gets back, she'll read it. Don't say we're not gonna call him out until she get, because she said that's my dude. I said, your dude always on the show with us every week.
Anytime we on, he pops on in.
He pops in. Shout out to my girl Tracy Brazil. She's up in she's my neighbor, and she had Tracy was real cool with my dog, and my dog get a little funky now. I gotta keep gas free at. Usually he's running around here anyway. Oh, he laid out today.
Well, what you got coming up, E? Where we can see you?
Well, I can't tell you where you can see me.
Okay.
I signed the NDA, but I'm on a really popular television show that's coming down, and I do know. You told me. I told you.
It can't be. It's not public knowledge. Okay, go ahead. Can you back?
For whatever reason, it was not accepting. I was trying to plug it in, and it was like, no, we don't like that plug. So, okay, I'm good now.
Okay, you see the gentleman just chimed in.
Ticky tack.
Ticky tack.
Ticky tack.
Ticky tack. That's what I'm gonna start calling you, Tack. Now I'm gonna call you Ticket Tack because Johnny didn't open it up on you.
I mentioned your name earlier, Heart Attack. Always do when Johnny was on. So I don't know why I mentioned Wowie. I don't know what it was. Maybe we were talking about Montel Jordan. That's what it was. Montel Jordan down at Picasso's. Yes.
Ticket Tack. I'm coming to town. Ticket Tack.
Yeah, he's playing Women Who Jam Saturdays at 10 a.m. Johnny. Yes.
Absolutely. So
it's great. We've gotten great support, and I'm very appreciative because our show is not, I would say, the norm. I mean, obviously, we're gonna play a Money Long or a Beyonce or whatever because we know those are familiar songs and they will get your attention. But it's a gateway to the songs we really want to play, and a lot of the artists that aren't getting played, I would say, on commercial radio. But we enjoyed the little show. I love it. I really do.
I heard. I was listening to the show, and you guys were playing a track that I play, and I'm like, gosh, I can't believe that the program director is not playing this MC Light record with Big Daddy.
You know,
Raheem. I was like, this record is crazy.
Women.
I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at it because I do it every day. I'm looking. I don't get it. I really don't. And I said, well, maybe they're not because you got Big Daddy Kane on there. Maybe Raheem Devon. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And the program director that has the fortitude to go out there and jump on a record like that, that's the one that's going to win in the market eventually because they're not going to be waiting for the chart.
Yeah.
And if you know your audience, you know that they know who Light is. She voices everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get Raheem Devon.
Oh my! It's such a great record.
We throw a concert around here with Raheem Devon. He's selling out every time. So the music is the music, and Kane does his thing. And then you got salt. And you got salt on it.
Big Daddy Kane came in like Big Daddy
Kane.
Yeah, it's a good song. I heard you played it this past week.
Yep.
It's
a good song. Ain't nothing like a woman.
Woman, strong woman.
Hey, it's just a good song, you know. Hey, but again, I just think that at some point we're going to come to a place, we as a culture, we as a people, and recognize and realize the greatness that we have in our art and start respecting and utilizing it and not allowing really good art to just get tossed away. We should be talking about all the people that's supporting this record and talking about, oh wow, Big Daddy Kane, don't call it a comeback, he's been here all the time. But look how this song elevates him and spotlights him. Like I said, to me, it is just a great song. It may not be that huge, compelling song, the huge Beyonce song. It may not be that kind of song, but it is a good song. And it's got us on it. It's got Raheem Devon. It's got Salt from Salt and Pepper, MC Light.
Oh yeah.
And Big Daddy Kane.
And the B.I.G. DAWDYKANE. I'm good and plenty.
Sunshine on it, baby.
that takes program directors that have the guts and have the ear to be able to hear it and say, hey, I am going to play this record because I like it and I believe it's a hit.
Yeah.
So many companies, it takes a team of people to approve a song before you can put it on. Or we have to test the song first to see how it shows up before we can play it, because you have people in those positions that can't feel it or can't connect it or don't know who this is, specific artist is. So there's no need, it's not showing up on the charts. So why should we go ahead and risk alienating our audience because we're going to play a certain song?
Yeah. That's part of it. But the cool thing about it is there are avenues like 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM and all of the digital radio stations that are out there that are jumping out on the record, because you've got a number of programmers that are in a space now that they can kind of do what they want. It's just making sure that we have the audience to consume it, because there is good music out there. We get a chance to play it. And I understand, because I'm in commercial radio for some of the reasons for terrestrial radio stations to stay away from a couple of things, because a tenth of a point in New York is worth millions if somebody's turning the station, as well as in Atlanta. So I get it. Because at the end of the day, still got to keep the lights on in this place.
And they program songs to play the Arbitron game.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, I want to come up in here one day and this thing like, whoa, what happened? Oh man, Johnnie, it was truly a pleasure to have you on here.
Yes,
you are a pillar in the music industry. There are women as well as men that are going to come into this business and don't realize the shoulders that they're standing on and what doors have been opened, because especially in a genre of hip hop.
Oh yeah.
You were there at the biggest label that has ever done it, with the largest artist, the first billionaire in rap. You were there.
It really was. And this is something I say, and like I said, I could care less. Well, I don't want to say I could care less. I don't want anybody to beat me up, but it was a genuine love, I believe, to work at that company. We actually we felt like family. I know I did, so I can't really speak for everybody, but it was like family. We literally did have that damn logo tattooed on our chests. We did. There was the continuity of the teams that went out there and worked those records. I had people on my staff, they could live in Dallas and my guy in Detroit sick or anything. Dallas, hop on the plane and go to Detroit like they live there. Then everything. That was like the spider web. That's how connected we were. And it was all about being a part of a company that was founded or ran by this black man, and we were working for a black man at a black company, and we had this black culture. I mean, we're with the music. We over here got clothes. Who was wearing the big floppy jeans and the Doc Marten shoes? Who? Us. Right. Everybody else wearing a suit. We falling up in there with Doc Marten jeans. Not Doc Marten boots, big fat farm jeans and a t-shirt,
Hey, I had my Def Jam jacket.
Oh, and your Def Jam, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Every program director, every DJ, everybody wanted to have that technique arm on their jacket.
And we wore it as if it was a fashion statement. And we were proud to wear that logo, to be affiliate, just to have the jacket and then have your name embroidered on the jacket. What? Put the name on the jacket? When I would walk around, I would go to New York, go home, and wear that jacket. People would be like, "Where did you get that jacket from?"
Only the proud.
Yeah, and we were proud of it, and we represented the company. But it goes back to, like you said, Johnnie, it was we got that jackets because of the relationships. And that's where it came down to. And you and Thomas Lytell and West Party Johnson. And I got to mention my man Bobbito, because me and Bobbito, yes, Bobbito and I grew up together on 97th Street, Amsterdam and Columbus in New York. It was that was kind of like my connection to Def Jam early on. And he made sure I got everything down in Virginia, because Bobby was working the underground stuff. So, but the name Johnnie Walker is synonymous with legend, icon, and Def Jam.
Def Jam.
So, So
You know, like I said, it was a really an incredible time, an incredible run. The people that were there, like you name, I mean, golly, Amani Duncan, who's really, golly, I don't know what company she's running now. Rhonda Cowan. It's everybody that was at that company wanted to be there. You know, that's another little different thing, you know, because people would often call me and say, well, I just offered this person X amount of dollars and they turned me down.
mm,
They turned you down because they knew what we had there. And my people, you know what I had at Def Jam? Zero turnover. Zero.
Wow.
Zero.
Nobody would leave.
Nobody left my department.
mm.
It was like I said, well, I mean, first of all, I do. What Thomas Lytle did, I took very good care of the people.
Lytle, she said it.
I'm surprised Lytle hasn't chimed in
Yeah,
tonight.
Lytle usually chimes in. He'll probably pop in.
He's probably in the gym.
Oh yeah, he always flexing and
getting that body in shape.
Yeah,
But, you know,
yeah.
it was a family.
Yeah.
It was I think that we were all very connected. And I also think that we all were striving for a similar goal. We wanted to win. I think
Yeah.
everybody wanted to win.
Hits,
We
man.
was the underdogs. I know how we were treated like the underdogs, like you going into radio. The big guys was the guys at Epic, or the guys at Warner, or the guys. They were the big guys. Here we come. Who we got? We got Ja Rule and
Jay-Z, X.
You got.
I mean, y'all might have been small, but you were big.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever get offered a job to come work for a record company?
I never.
I
never chased it down.
See, Johnny refused to play hip hop. Me and you, we were fighting to play hip hop. So they're like, nah, we're gonna keep them in radio. We need them.
Radio. Somebody got to play it.
Somebody had to play the records.
Somebody got to play the records.
That is something they used to always say, you know, we got to keep good people at radio.
Yeah.
I remember they did used to say that.
Yeah, they said that like, no, they wouldn't offer me a job. No, because you playing our records. We need you. We need you over there.
And we radio, honey.
We fought for it. I mean, we fought to get hip hop on the radio.
Yeah.
We really did.
And
you know,
you did a good job because look, it is the number one I would say genre now.
It is
doing its thing, but in country, some of them got hip hop in it. So you know, it's
it's
the thing that was the fad. They said it was a fad. They said that's not going anywhere. It's over.
They call it pop music now. Now it's pop. It's pop. It's pop music.
There you go.
It's pop music now. Because
what's pop music?
Hip hop is pop music because they call it pop. Pop music is popular music.
They're basically stealing it now. They're stealing it.
Just it's definitely the Dave Chappelle piece.
Yeah. Okay.
They're taking me. They're taking me.
Yeah. Just like they took Michael, named him the king of pop.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Johnny, how can people follow you if they want to know more about your organization? What's Johnny doing? How can they follow you?
Everything is NABFEME. That's NABFEM on IG, NABFEM on Twitter, X, whatever it is, NABFEM on Facebook, NABFEM. Well, my grandkids got me on TikTok. I was not on TikTok. I'm on TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok, but I heard I need to be on there.
Yeah, they got me on TikTok, and so I'm NABFEM Prez on TikTok. But the way that I set everything up, if you put Miss Johnnie Walker in there, I'll pop right up. And it's Facebook. I know it says Facebook for me. Now, if you're following me, I just gave you the organization. But if you want to follow me, and I hope that you do, Miss Johnnie Walker. That's the moniker. That's the brand. I actually have a website. It is MissJohnnieWalker.com. go there. That'll what I'm doing, where I'm going, and whatever is going on in my world. But our website nabfem.org is pretty much my home base as well, and it's very important to me. Teaching our young people, old ones that want to listen, any way that we can share information, empower, teach, and keep this legacy going. That's what I strive for. That's really what drives me. And I see so many mistakes, and a lot of times when I point those mistakes out and I talk to people and they like, oh, okay. I love it when somebody calls me and says, hey, I did so and so and so and so. It actually worked. And I just say, well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. So anytime that we can pour into somebody and it helps, I love it. We just recently did a little tour with several of the artists that we play on the Women Who Jam radio show. And I'm telling you, the audience is out there. People come because they know it. They know we're not cursing. They know we're going to have women that are actually going to sing. And so people, they come to our little shows. What can I say?
Let me know when they're coming through Atlanta. I want to be there.
Well, we hit Atlanta, but we coming back. Back.
Hey, come on back.
So I'll definitely holler at you. A lot of times it just depends on our ability to get a venue that already has the sound, the audio that we need, things that we need, and we're able to come in. And then it's getting the artists and their availability, and we do a nice little show. And then the artists obviously promote themselves. So as they are promoting themselves, we kind of promoting each other, and that the show work. So definitely, when next time we come through, we'll holler at you. But and don't want to leave out Women Who Jam. Women Who Jam, just womenwhojam.com. All of these are the things that, like I said, they keep me busy. You can find me at any of those places. And one thing I will add, I always tell everybody, it's not vanity. It's Miss Johnnie Walker, because if you put Johnnie Walker in there, the liquor girl comes up.
The liquor comes up.
You're gonna get the liquor. So
you're gonna get the liquor.
So you need to say MS Johnnie Walker, and then you get.
That's funny. That's funny.
I get it. Lo, how can they find you, brother?
Well, they can find me on Star 94.5 Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. on the Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas Show. Saturday night, you can find me on Hot 105 from 6 to 10 p.m. Also, you can follow me on Twitter X at Lorenzo Thomas, on Facebook, Lorenzo Thomas, IG at Lorenzo Ice-T. That's Lorenzo ICETEA, of course. Overseeing 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM, where you can hear Women Who Jam Sunday, 12 noon, and again at 1 p.m. And then you can just right now go to your Google, or you type in the URL LIT Television. That is my new digital television station that I just launched. So you can see, probably you'll be able to see a conversation with a DJ and so much more on LIT Television, which just launched this past month. So that's exactly where you can find me. And hopefully you can support all of us there on LIT Television. Eric, tell them where they can find you, my brother.
They can find me right there at Convo with the DJ. That's on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All of them at Convo with the DJ. And at the same time, you can catch me actually on 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM every night. I'm still doing overnights.
Yes, sir.
Still doing overnights there.
Yes, sir.
And you can catch me at the SoulLoungeCafe.com.
I can't do it.
Yeah. You can catch me at Soul Lounge, because I do the Quiet Storm live Sunday 9 to midnight and 10 to midnight every day of the week except for Friday, because Thomas Lytell comes in on Friday with the thunderstorm.
I listened to Thomas Lytell. I think it was Friday night at midnight. Is it midnight?
On his show, he's from 10 to midnight.
100 Hip Hop.
Thomas and E.
That's me and Thomas. Yeah, I'm really on the air 7 days a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, 6 now, because Johnny just bumped you on Sunday.
Okay.
So I gave you.
We are really radio heads in this place.
There you go.
She gave you a day off, E. She gave you a day off.
Day off. I swear. but I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So, of course, we do this each and every Thursday. Make sure you hit the like button as well as share the content for us. It'll help us out in the algorithm. And I would say we're going to be here next Thursday, but unfortunately, Lorenzo and I,
Oh no.
when it comes down to this football, we won't be doing it because the draft is next Thursday.
Oh.
We're not gonna do this show.
Yeah, unless we watch the draft live and broadcast at the same time. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I need my focus.
I need to be focused on what these Falcons gonna do. I know you're gonna be focused what them Dolphins gonna do.
Yeah. But I got a dynasty fantasy football draft going on the next day, the day after. I had to talk to the commissioner. The commissioner had the draft scheduled at the same time.
Yeah, that's
I said, come on, man, at least the next day or Saturday or Sunday or something like that. So,
what we'll do next week, we'll adjust the schedule. Maybe we'll do it on Tuesday.
We'll do a rerun of this show.
I got a couple of people ready to go. Matter of fact, we're gonna chase down Monique again. Sharon's daughter, who went to school with us at Virginia State.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll try
I
to
bet you some stories there, boy.
Oh, I'd be like, as Monique, hey, look, you're talking too much now.
Look, she literally grew up in it.
The Myth Man and the Red Man story is pretty good, Johnny. That's a good one. And they wouldn't mind that story being told either.
I'm telling you, listen, those guys, look, I'm gonna do it real quick. We're going down the highway and they want to smoke. They roll the biggest blunts ever. Like we went to Wendy's and rolled the window down and smoke would just come out the car. It's like
the How High commercial.
And I'm like, look, you guys are not gonna smoke this stuff and I gotta drive. I'm getting the contact. I cannot drive while you're smoking. And they like, I said, okay, we're gonna pull on the side of the road. I'm not driving. They looking at me. I'm not driving. As a matter of fact, I am going to call the police. I'm not going to jail for you. I'm going to call the police and they can come and get you and you can smoke all you want. They like, oh, don't be young. We'll put it away. So they put it away. I get in the car. We get back on the highway. We actually was driving to San Antonio. So it's getting night. It's getting dark. And they mad because they can't smoke their weed. So they turned the interior light on. I'm like, look, you got to turn that light off. I'm driving. You cannot have the light on. We got to do something. They got the light on. They got a little flashlight or something back there. They so mad at me. They wrote How High.
Oh.
You are joking. The movie?
I'm serious. We were driving from Dallas to San Antonio. And they're mad at me. They're mad at me because they can't smoke. I'm like, you can't smoke it because I got to drive. I'm driving and they mad with the interior light on in the car in the back seat. And
wow.
So that had to be method. I can't see Red writing anything.
Well, I don't know which one wrote it. I just know that's when they did. Because when we got to San Antonio, they told me they wrote a song. A lot of times, the last time that I have not gotten my royalties yet.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen to them lyrics. They probably said something about you subliminally.
But they told me that when they were riding down, when we were in the car, all of us in the car, that's when they wrote How High.
Now, I got to tell you, Johnny, when you told that story, Eric and I, being the thespians, the first thing we thought, they wrote the screenplay.
I thought they wrote the How High screenplay, but you talking about the track.
That's why we were a little slow.
But I can believe they wrote that song.
The song, okay, gotcha.
Johnny Blaze when the damn thing changed.
How high?
I can touch the sky. Up to
the sky.
Well, look how the song was the pathway to the screenplay.
That's true. That is true. That is true. Huh? Okay, Johnny.
What inspiration? What gives you inspiration? So we're gonna put everybody into the green room, and we'll go from there.
Hey.
So thank everybody for checking us out. Peace.
Love it, guys. Thank you so much.